It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Good evening, Kern County. You're watching Bakersfield's News Channel. This is 23 News at 11 with Jim Scott and Robin Mangarin, meteorologist Miles Musio, Kurt Sandoval Sports, and Nightside reporters Kim Stevens and Kurt Rivera.
Good evening. Bakersfield police are still searching at this hour for a man who reportedly stabbed another man tonight in Central Park. Around 8:45 this evening, a man who Bakersfield police described as a transient was stabbed once in the abdomen after an argument in the park. The victim then walked across the street to the Strength and Health gym for help.
We were working out, okay, and apparently we seen a man coming in. We thought he was harassing one of the women, you know, that works out here. So what happened, we all ran over here, and then apparently we seen him stabbed, okay, and he was saying that he was at the park and that he bought some cigarettes from some man. I don't know who it was, but he came in bleeding. He was really bleeding. I mean, his cut really looked bad. Okay, and he wanted some help. It looks like he was going into shock. So I mean, we had to call the ambulance support.
Police later searched the park for suspects, but no arrests have been made so far this evening.
And no word yet tonight from the Bakersfield man abducted Sunday by leftist rebels in Colombia. 44-year-old Robert Hogan was kidnapped while working on an oil rig in the South American country, along with 2 other American men and a Colombian national. Hogan is employed by the National Tank Company based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. NATCO has a local office in Bakersfield, and today yellow ribbons were tied to company signs outside the office. 23 News has learned from sources within the U.S. Embassy in Colombia that the National Liberation Army, also known as the ELN, is behind the kidnapping. We also spoke on the phone with a correspondent in Colombia about that group.
The guerrilla group has blown up the country's main pipeline scores of times to try to pressure the government into nationalization. And it also has kidnapped a number of foreign petroleum workers and engineers. In most cases, the workers are held for ransom payments by their companies.
Now, Yarbrough says, to his knowledge, the ELN has never harmed a hostage, and he says Hogan is apparently the first American kidnapped by the rebels. Governor Duke Majan is leading the charge to find the killer of a 14-year-old Lancaster girl. Angela Miglioria was found strangled to death last month along a Lancaster road. Duke Majan has agreed to put another $50,000 in the reward pool for information leading to an arrest. That brings the reward to $60,000. The L.A. County Sheriff's Department is circulating posters with information about the victim.
A newspaper ad locally promising travel, business opportunity, and good pay led to a painful experience for a sales trainee who was beaten when he tried to leave the company. Now, the man, who asked not to be identified, saw an ad like this one for employment with a door-to-door sales firm in this area, now recruiting workers to go on the road. But when he told his recruiters he wanted out, they wanted in.
And so whenever I tried to make a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning, there was a knock on the door because the manager had called him because he informed him that if there's any outgoing calls to call him. And he knocked on the door and he said, so you want to go home, huh? Well, we came to say goodbye. And he pushed his way into the room and just, him and his 2 friends just went to town on me.
Now, the local Better Business Bureau says you should always carefully check out the background of these fly-by-night sales firms and get something in writing about their working conditions before signing on to go on the road. Robin?
A condom recall is underway tonight. New York City has announced the recall of close to 1 million condoms. Now, the condoms called Saxon spermicidal were among 4 million the health department distributes each year to AIDS and teenage pregnancy prevention groups. The condoms are being recalled because of a remote chance of leakage, and officials say any problems that could be caused by this leakage are minimal. Saturday, December 1st, has been set aside here in Kern County as AIDS Day. County supervisors announced that today, and local physicians hope it will draw some much-needed attention to the deadly disease.
1/3 of our cases are in females, and the penetration of AIDS into the female population, and with it, of course, into the unborn children population, is frightening. That's what's happened in Africa, and that's about to wipe out the continent of Africa, and it could theoretically do the same thing every place.
More than 530 people in Kern County are infected with the HIV virus, of which 116 have AIDS.
A medical procedure tonight is showing some promise for people that otherwise would die of liver cancer. The technique involves freezing cancerous tumors by ultrasound guide probes. It's the pet project of Dr. Gary Onick of Pittsburgh's Presbyterian Hospital. Onick says of the 30 patients who underwent this specialized treatment, 6 are now free of the disease. Some good results.
Yes, straight ahead on 23 News at 11, more American hostages are heading home for Iraq. Plus, some ARVN students are doing their part for U.S. troops in the Gulf and feeling pretty good about it.
And shopping for that perfect Christmas toy? Well, Curtis Knight will show you what's hot.
I'm Geraldo Rivera. Join me this fall for another hard-hitting, down-to-earth season of Geraldo right here on TV 23. We go beyond the headlines and into the lives of people and the issues that concern you most. We don't just scratch the surface. We get to the nitty-gritty and let you be the judge. On Geraldo, we talk about the things you want to know about. So join me weekdays at 3, only on Bakersfield's news channel, TV 23.
Don't miss Geraldo, now weekdays at 3 on TV 23.
'Tis the season for the colors of Christmas. Kids 12 and under will win their share of hundreds of dollars in prizes with TV 23's Colors of Christmas coloring contest. Just stop by any of these participating merchants and pick up an entry form and coloring sheet. Then draw and color a Christmas theme showing the colors of the season. So color Christmas in your own unique way this year with TV 23's Colors of Christmas coloring contest.
Chevron Oil tonight says its Point Arguello offshore oil project is ready to start up. The Gaviota oil platform has been sitting idle above 300 million gallons of oil since 1987. Santa Barbara County officials have rejected Chevron permit applications for a marine tanker permit. Los Angeles Mayor Tom Bradley denied the company a pipeline permit 2 weeks ago. Chevron has notified the U.S. Energy Department that it will ship about 20,000 barrels of oil from Point Arguello through a pipeline to refineries in San Francisco beginning in June. And the company is appealing Santa Barbara County's denial of its tankering permit.
A warning tonight to Pacific Gas and Electric customers. A ratepayer advocacy group says your gas and electric bills are likely to go up next year by about 11% for electricity and 7% for natural gas. The group called TURN, or Toward Utility Rate Normalization, says PG&E has already asked for nearly $750 million in electric rate hikes and over $200 million in gas rate increases for 1991. Robin?
Several California counties are staring at their bottom line tonight and finding nothing. A new report says around 10 counties are in their worst financial shape since 1982 and may need the state to help bail them out. That report says the financially strapped counties could face bankruptcy next year. Kern County, fortunately, is not on the list. Some ARVN high school students tonight are trying to bail out U.S. soldiers in the Gulf from their boredom. The students say they are making every effort to make sure that time flies for the troops. They are working to lift the spirits of boiler technicians on board the USS Wisconsin in the Persian Gulf.
I originally thought from writing letters they would be able to polish their letter writing skills and we would work on grammar and structure and those kinds of things. But I've also been able to talk to them about current events, how to organize a project, how to keep it going, how to accept that responsibility, and they've done a wonderful job.
The students are writing letters and making videos for the servicemen and women abroad.
In the world tonight, members of the UN Security Council have nailed down a January 15th deadline to get Iraq out of Kuwait. That resolution will be voted on this Thursday and would give the green light to the use of military force against Iraq. Meantime, U.S. sources are voicing some concern tonight that Iraq could produce a, in their terms, very crude nuclear weapon and do it within a year. The International Atomic Energy Agency says it has found nothing to back up U.S. fears. Meantime, U.S. intelligence sources say they will continue to investigate. The fears of 18 hostages are over tonight after being freed from the Iraqi captivity. 3 Americans were among the Britons and Germans that arrived in Jordan aboard an Iraqi Airways jet. The Americans and Britons are all ex-hostages who were released after visits to Iraq by their families. Meantime, former boxing champion Muhammad Ali has persuaded Iraqi President Saddam Hussein to let go even more American hostages, but just how many isn't known right now. Hussein says he would not let Ali to return to America without taking a number of Americans with him. Ali, who is a Muslim himself, arrived in Baghdad last week on a trip there. And Great Britain has a new prime minister tonight. He's John Major, the country's treasury chief. Major won the position after two opponents in the race for leadership dropped out. One of those opponents was Margaret Thatcher, who served as prime minister for more than 11 years.
So you say you're dumbfounded, confused, and just unsure of what toy to buy your child for Christmas? Well, tonight we may have some answers.
That's right. 23's Kurt at Night joins us with the toy tips.
That's right. Very good, Jim. They are the hot toys for Christmas, and they are the toys that children hope Santas will buy.
I like Home Pretty Barbie, Super Mario Brothers 3. I just like it so much that I wish I had all the games.
For kids, there are so many games and so little to leave behind.
I like dresses with ruffles on them, and some don't have ruffles on them.
With hundreds of toys to choose from, children can sometimes get on one's nerves before selecting their toy.
It's usually the kids that make the toys the hot items. They usually catch all the latest fads on TV with the commercials and Saturday morning cartoons.
Leading the toy pack again this year are video game entertainment systems like Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, and Nintendo, which features close to 300 cartridges, including this year's hot game, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Super Mario Brothers 3, I like the graphics on it because now you can turn into the raccoon on Mario, and then you can turn into frogs and stuff.
But it's not only video. The heroes on the half shell, Ninja Turtle action figures, are hot items too.
I like them because they fight and they do karate.
Barbies continue to remain consistent Christmas sellers.
Well, you have the Barbie doll, and then you have Ken, and then you have Skipper, and Skipper is Barbie's sister.
However, the Ken doll isn't for everyone.
Personally, I don't like boys. Barbies.
Also popular this year are the battery-operated ride-em toys, like this monster 4x4.
Board games, rollerblades, and bubble mowers are also blowing in front of the competition. So good luck, Mom and Dad.
And the Simpson action figures and the Magic Nursery doll. Jim, it's on your Christmas list. That's another popular item.
The Magic Nursery doll, huh?
Magic Nursery. You don't know if it's a boy or a girl.
Oh, boy. Come a long way since Matchbox Cars, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Kurt.
Still ahead tonight on 23 News at 11. Toss another blanket on the bed. Miles has your frigid forecast.
Well, Miles Musio joins us now, and he says our temperatures are courtesy of the museometer this evening.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went outside and took my own observation, which you will see in just a moment. Meadows Field just didn't report for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Don't know
so you have a backup system, though, and
that's right. It's called like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I went outside, and it is beautiful, crystal clear. Mars, take a look straight up right now after the weathercast, and you will see a big orange object, and that is Mars, about as close as it has been in a long time. Won't be this close again until the year 2000-something. Let's go outside now and see what I saw. I saw clear skies, and right now downtown Bakersfield it is 41 degrees. The dew point is 37, and the humidity now 85%. The winds are dead calm, and the pressure is 30-32, and it is rising. Today's high temperature up to 54 at the airport, and 34 this morning, 1 degree shy of the record. Take a look at those records. 33 was the previous record, and still stands, just barely. That's set back in 1987. Well, temperatures are going to remain cool tonight because we have got high pressure over the area and clear skies for the most part. You can see these clouds are moving. I've noticed, by the way, that they are moving a little more, well, a little more vigor than they were, this time yesterday and earlier this evening. It looks like we might see some high clouds, by late tomorrow from this system, but no precipitation. Temperatures at the 11 o'clock hour, 41 degrees here at KERO, and it is in the 30s to the north. Temperatures are falling, not quite as fast as I thought that they might fall, but nonetheless, we'll see temperatures near freezing tonight. It continues to be generally fair for tomorrow from the west coast as far east now as the middle Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley. Today, all sorts of bad weather. From Columbia, Missouri, they had 2 tornadoes there, and then it got cold with freezing rain from Des Moines and lots of snow from Omaha all the way up into the UP of Michigan. About 26 record highs set today. Now the cold front's going to go through, and things will cool off. Got up to 84 for a record high in Montgomery, Alabama. For tomorrow, temperatures will look like this. A large swath of 30s from Idaho eastward into Wisconsin, as far south as the Texas Panhandle, and highs will not get out of the 20s in parts of Wyoming and also off to the north, but still warm in the east. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s. For tomorrow in California, sunny skies every place with temperatures in the LA basin up into the middle 70s with a little mini Santa Ana there. We'll see highs in the 50s for the most part in the Central Valleys and 60s along the coast. Here in Kern County, we should get up into the 50s regardless of your elevation in most cases. 58 here in Bakersfield, 50 in Tehachapi. Out in the east, temperatures in the 50s. And it looks like the coolest of all will be here in Fraser Park around 47 degrees. Here in Bakersfield tonight, generally fair skies. A big, beautiful Mars out tonight with a low temperature near 32 degrees. And for tomorrow, it should be pretty nice up into the upper 50s with plenty of sunshine after a little bit of morning fog. The extended forecast looks about like so. Lots of sunshine all the way through Friday. Partly cloudy skies going into Saturday and Sunday. No rain. Highs in the 60s, lows in the 30s, and the air quality remains in the good range.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but cool tonight.
Okay, bundle up.
Bundle up.
Thanks, Miles.
The Lady Rams going to the state finals. Kurt's in next with sports, but first here's a look at tonight's Deco drawing. Kurt Sandoval joins us now with sports. A state championship in the offing for the Lady Rams, right?
Yeah, they're not. It's hard to win a state championship. You can't do it in every sport. You know, if the run sets up the pass in football, then the spike sets up the dink in volleyball. Simply put, the spike and dink worked very well for Garces tonight against Windward. A standing room only crowd in the Garces gym tonight. One of those standing was behind a video camera. He is former Olympian Rayford Johnson in attendance tonight. He was videotaping his daughter, who plays for Windward. Garces came out very slow. Windward opened a 12-3 lead in game one. With kills like this, they easily took the first game. But the next game was the turning point for the Rams. Garces rallied with plays like this from Jennifer Lewis, and it was all tied up at a game apiece. The rest of the night, Garces drove in high gear. This is match point. It ended on Nasa Bidart's kill. She had 20 on the night. Garces a slow start, but the quick finish takes them to the state final this Saturday night.
My team kind of has had that pattern all year long. They kind of start off a little bit slow, looking a little nervous, and then all of a sudden they turn it on and they start believing in themselves. And then I feel sorry for anybody that's on the other side of the net once they start believing in themselves.
And a standing room only crowd is also expected at Memorial Stadium this Saturday night for the 39th Shrine Potato Bowl. Tafton, BC will square off in Memorial Stadium, which holds 19,467 people. Interesting, 19,532 tickets were printed. There is only 100 left. You'll need to go to Taft to get one. And Taft College was the place for the Cougars workout today. This is day 2 of Hype Week, and both teams have found ways to handle all the hype.
We just want the game to get underway. All the hoopla was going on about Taft and Bakersfield, so, you know, we wanted to just suit up Saturday and just let the best team win, and that's what everybody's waiting on.
You know, the media comes out and they want you to say what you think of the opponent, and they want you to kind of fire up the other opponent by saying other things, but we're just taking one day at a time at practice.
Well, the New England Patriots are a team that has taken it in the shorts all season. Today, just simply their wallet was in their shorts. NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue fined the Patriots and 3 of its players more than $72,000 for a sexual harassment incident involving Boston Herald reporter Lisa Olson. The commissioner's report today called the incident distasteful and a disgrace to the league. Olson, in the meantime, just happy to get back to work. Well, we are 3 weeks into the NBA season, and the Portland Trail Blazers' last loss came in June in the NBA Finals. Tonight, that served as motivation for the Phoenix Suns. This is a rematch of the Western Conference Final. Rick Adelman didn't have much to smile about tonight. Phoenix came into Portland and opened up an 18-point lead in the first half. Tom Chambers cans the 3. He finished with 28 points, but Portland fought off that lead in the third quarter, and Danny Ainge hits this 3-pointer. The Blazers were up 89-88, but the Suns owned the fourth quarter. Michael Knight's jumper put the Suns up by 9. Phoenix hands Portland its first loss of the year, 123-109. So that is a look at space sports.
Okay, Kurt, thank you very much. She's got all the moves, but Janet Jackson says she's got an image problem. That's next.